Very good morning, guys. My name is Shivraj, and I have started a new series in my YouTube channel that is named as GenZ JavaScript. So, in this series, we will be learning ReactJS, Angular, and JavaScript. All the important concepts we will be learning here. And I am a full stack developer with having 10 plus year of experience under my belt. And guys, please subscribe to my channel so that you will be notified for all the upcoming videos. Thank you.
In this video, we will learn your first component in React.js. So if you are learning or if you are trying to code in React.js for the first time, like this is your you are a fresher and you are trying to learn a React.js, or you're experienced developer and previously you are working with Vue or AngularJS or any JavaScript library, and then now you have got an opportunity to work with React.js, so you must know few of the things. So that is why today I will be discussing more in detail about the first component that you will create in your React.js, because I also previously worked on Angular and other JavaScript libraries, Node.js for backend, but I got opportunity to work in React.js. So then, because both are JavaScript library, right? Angular is also using JavaScript. It's a framework, but it is using JavaScript in its code. It is using TypeScript, but JavaScript is, TypeScript is a subset. So mainly we know JavaScript. Then only we are able to learn TypeScript, and then we are able to use it inside the Angular. So in case of React.js, we are using directly JavaScript, right? But what I'm trying to say here is, because in project you can see other code, and you can directly start coding because you have already used with JavaScript and other frameworks like Angular. But if you want to master something, if you want to become like React god, if you want to learn everything, so at that time you must know each and everything in React. So same happened with me. For a couple of years I worked in React, in a very big project. So there we get help from other code also, and we know this React because earlier we have worked with so much years in JavaScript. But then my curiosity was to learn it from the deep. Like I need to know how component and everything works in React, you know and how it was working in Angular. So that differentiation, that detail, so that's how I got into this official documentation of React.js. And from here from today, I will be starting this series where we will be diving deep into the components, and likewise in other things which are related to React.js. Because we know how to code, we are doing everything, but we should know in detail. That's where the confidence comes. That's where we can play around it because we know everything, right? So this is my goal with this video. So let's start. So this is the component. And first of all, what is the component? So component is very simple. It is a JavaScript function. It is a simple JavaScript function that you are writing in your React.js, and you call it component, and you can export it and import in another file. Let me show you how we are doing it. So what's written here is component are one of the core concept of React. They are the foundation upon which build your user interface, and which makes them the perfect place to start React journey. So what we are going to learn here, what is a component, or what is the role of component in React application, and you will be writing your first React component, right? So first of all, let's say component. So in component, you are returning something, right? From that like that component returning something. When you are writing an HTML on the web, HTML lets you create a rich structured document with built-in set of tags. So here you are having built-in set of tags like article, h1, ol, ordered list, li, list, right? So you are having predefined set of tags from HTML. So that's why you're able to write this beautiful, this beautiful thing. You're using article, h1, all of this. So this markup represent this article and heading with h1, and table with ol, and mark like this combined with CSS style and JavaScript for interactivity, right? And Reacts let you combine your markup, right? CSS and JavaScript. So what is component in React? The component consists of your markup, that is HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So both, when all these three are combined, so that is your component. You can say your custom component that you are creating. And the advantage is you can reuse it. Like you have created a component that is rendering a table. So now because it is rendering a table, so you may require a table in various pages of your application. So you can simply use this component, just pass the parameters to it, and then you can simply use this component, and wherever table is required you can just use it over there. So this is called reusability in your bigger projects. So similarly here, they have, the table of contents they have. So here they are trying to show that the documentation which you are seeing right now, this React official application. So this is structured like this. See, we have page layout, right? Inside page layout we have navigation header. So these are the custom components that we have created, that the team has created who built this React.js official docs. So this web application. So they have page layout. Inside page layout, they have navigation headers. What are navigation headers? These top that you are seeing, they are the navigation headers. And in the navigation headers, you will see on the top in the left side, you will see the search bar. So this is a search bar, right? I'm like pointing it. You can see the point, and then you have a link, right? When you click on link, it goes to that page. And we have navigation header closed, so this is closed. Now we have sidebar. So these are our sidebars where you are seeing quick start, installation, setup on your left hand side. These are the sidebars that we have. And then page content, and then table of content and documentation text. This is, you can use it, you can use other pages also. This will be a common thing. And that's how we are closing page content and page layout. So this is how this application is built. And uh, and yes, and it is saying that you have built-in open source libraries, Chakra UI and Material UI. So they are having built-in components, so you can you can like install these libraries and directly start using these components if you want in your application. So now let's see how we are defining a component. So traditionally what it is saying, so traditionally if you have worked with simple, traditionally how we are doing it, traditionally we were writing some HTML code, and inside it we are adding JavaScript as a script, right? If you have worked with simple HTML, CSS and JavaScript, so you are writing HTML, and inside it you are adding styles, whether it is inline or you have imported it from somewhere. So, and then you are adding some JavaScript to it to make it dynamic, and then how you show it. But in case of React, it is just opposite. So here you have JavaScript and you are sprinkling HTML and CSS over it, right? So you have JavaScript when you are sprinkling or you're adding HTML to it. That's how you are able to make it a JSX. So we call it a JSX component. So it is a JSX, comprises of HTML, CSS, and your JavaScript. So it is a simple function. If you see here, you have created a function profile, a simple JavaScript function profile, and what it is returning? It is returning image, and image consists of source and alt. This you already know. When image is not available at that time, it will show you this Catherine Johnson, the alt. So this is returning a JSX, right? So this is how your first component will be. Just a simple function. Export default, this is a JavaScript syntax, not a React. So this you already know. Export default means you are exporting this whole function. We are exporting this whole component, and then you can use it somewhere. Profile, let me show you down how we are doing it. So exporting a component, export default is a prefix JavaScript, this we already know. And simply we are defining the function. When you define the function with the name of profile, so how this is becomes a component. The component returns an image tag or anything like this, like HTML, but it actually is a JavaScript under the hood, and this syntax is called JSX. So now you understand why we call it JSX. So this is why it is called a JSX. And it lets you embed, we already know, markup inside JavaScript. So inside JavaScript, it is allowing you to add HTML, and then this whole syntax kind of become JSX. And this is how you are importing, exporting JSX all over your React.js application. Very interesting. When you work with React.js now, so because I have come from Angular, so I find it very interesting because here we have Angular is also, see, Angular is also very good. But with React, if you are very good in JavaScript, you can play over it because it is not a framework, it is a library. So here you are, you can play around JavaScript. You can play, why? Because you are having more control. You can manually create something, because in framework, what we have a framework. We have to go, we have to follow that standard, right? For everything, the Angular provides, whether it is routing, whether it is, you are using this APIs with observables and all those things they have inbuilt. But in React, you are importing all the libraries, external libraries, you are building them, and then how you are getting your application. And inside that also, in component, you don't have to follow any structure. If you know Java, if you know JavaScript, you can play around it, you can enjoy it just like anything. You will if you That's why I've created this video. If you are knowing deep what you are actually doing rather of copy and pasting, then you will learn it and you will enjoy writing the code. So here we are returning this markup, and see how we are returning it like this. Return statement can be written in one line. It can be written in one line, and this is how you can return. But if there is a multi-liner, then you can do div. And later on, we'll also see if there are multiple like divs you are using everything, then you can use it inside a fragment. So there is a React fragment. Inside it, you can bind everything, and that's how you can return all of them. So using a component. Now that you have defined a profile component, see, this is your profile component. Simple, a function profile, and you're returning a JSX. This becomes your profile component, and this you can reuse anywhere. First, you have to export it, and then you can import in other files. But because here it is in same file app.js, so we can directly use it. So how we will use it? Let's see. See, it is written. Now that you have defined profile component, you can nest it inside any other components. So we have this profile component, we have this gallery component, and gallery component we are export default. For export also I've created a video, what is export default and what is simple export, right? What is named export, all this I have explained in my video. You can go to that video, or I will give the link in this video description, so that you can understand how to export and all this, how are different types of exports. So basically you're exporting because you can use it in other files, and there you can import it, right? This is how reusability is attained. So in this, we have export default function gallery, and here I am returning a section. Inside section I have h1 amazing scientist, and amazing scientist, inside this I am using my custom component, that is profile like this. See, here I have created a component, and here I am showing it like this. So this is a tag. So this is how beautiful and how clear it looks with this HTML tags, my this custom component that I've created, and this is whole we are returning is as a JSX. So this is your first component. So in browser, what you see, notice that one more thing you will notice, uh, H1 section all coming from HTML will be in small, like it will start from the small letter. But custom component that we are getting, always remember it should start from this capital. See, P is capital, so it should start from capital letter, our custom component. And small letters is JavaScript, this HTML tags, they will be starting from small. So that is how React is able to recognize. So notice that different casing, section is a lower case, so React knows we are referring to HTML tag. So that's why React knows we are referring to an HTML tag. And profile start with capital P. So React knows that we want to use our component called profile. And profile contains even more HTML tags like h1 images like this in the end. What is this browser sees, and that's how. So nesting and organizing components are like, as we know, simple JavaScript function. What are components? Simple JavaScript functions. So you can keep multiple component in the same file. This is convenient. You can go through this. We understood. I have covered all those things which are required. So because profile component are rendered inside gallery even several times, we can say that gallery is a parent component. Yes. So because see, here we have two components, right? Gallery and profile. So your parent component is gallery. Why? Because inside gallery we are rendering this profile. So this is how it becomes a parent and it becomes a child. So this is also good to know. This is a part of magic of React magic. Yes, you can define a component once and then use it at many places. This is a React magic. And guys, trust me, I'm enjoying so much while creating this video because I'm also learning with you guys, and I write code for various big projects, which are global projects. But because I have transitioned from Angular to React.js, so right now I know everything I'm coding. I have gone into deeper. I'm using state management. I'm using various things, translations and props and everything that we have in the application. But while because uh, after seeing the code we can build the application. But if you know in deeper of each and every tag, each and every custom components, each and everything that you are already using in your project, that's where the real enjoyment comes. Because now you can think, you can imagine more creative, because you know how this will work, rather than simply searching, or simply searching in chat gpt or in copilot like why it is not working, and then gaining knowledge from there. Now because you know how it works, you can imagine, like you will be knowing in advance like why it is breaking, or that thing I'm focusing on this. So yeah, that's it. So in recap, what we have learned, so you have we have get a first taste of our React lets you create component reusable UI elements. And in React app, every piece of UI is a component, right? Every piece of UI is component, and that's all we are gathering all those components to make our beautiful websites. So their names always begins with a capital letter, always remember, and they return a JSX markup. So they always return a JSX markup, and their name always begin with a capital letter. So this is what we have. And here this is error because we have to export this component, that's why. So that's it guys, this is our first component. I hope you're liking it. The video, I thought it will be of 5 minutes, but it went 15 minutes, because this is the first video that I have started with the imagination that if you are transitioning from other technologies to React, or if you are if you are going to React from scratch, so just don't code, don't copy and paste, and don't think that I am able to uh, create this feature, or I'm able to complete my work. So that's not a good developer thing. Good developer always reads documentation, always increase their knowledge. That's how he becomes a good developer, right? That is the reason he can help his juniors, and he can spread good understanding, good knowledge of React, and any technology that a developer is working. So that's how you become a good developer, by making the good websites, and also by knowing each and every tag how it is working. So keep on learning, and learning never ends when you're a developer. Thank you everyone, and keep sharing videos and keep engaging in comments. Thank you. We'll see you in next video.